Are we on? Hi, Naomi Suzanne from Naomi's Home Health. So gut versus liver. I know that when we first start researching our thyroid condition, that gut health comes up a lot. And even, you've got functional medical doctors, integrative doctors, naturopaths, all talk about, oh, hang on, let me just turn this on. Sorry, I don't want to echo. All talk about gut health being the primary source of our issues. And if we first, then, and we work on that, then we're going to be getting somewhere. But what happens is when we just focus on gut health, we are missing a key element of healing. So basically, focusing on gut health, we're missing the whole aspect of the liver. Now, some gut health practices and protocols are going to help the liver. So that will be why that you're starting to feel a lot better when you do that. But there's a lot of key elements missing. So when you focus on gut health first, it's like going to watch the sequel to a movie, the second movie, before you watch the first one. You're not going to be up to speed with what's going on initially. So I'm just going to make sure I can see comments. Sorry. If you're on, give me a wave little in the comments. Tell me where you're tuning in from. I'd love to know where you're listening in from. What do you think about gut versus liver? So I'm going to share my screen so you can see a liver image. Let me just see. Share the screen. Here we go. So here's the anatomy of the liver. Here you can see the liver is on the top. So everything that we ingest, inhale, and put on our skin goes into the liver. Now the liver is what detoxes all the things that we don't need and we don't want to absorb into our body. So it will hold on to things that are toxic for our body. So there's a lot of cells. There's 3 parts to the liver. There's a lot of cells and there's a lot going on in here. It's our major detoxification organ. So when we're putting these things into our body, whether it be food, whether it be our makeup, our hair products, it can be our hormones, all of our hormones, our stress hormones, our blood, everything passes through here. And it comes into, we have our gallbladder, which is where the bile is produced. So that's what bile is, what helps break down the food. And then we're going to go into, it goes into the duodenum. So that is the first stage of digestion. And this is where you get the pancreatic enzymes to break down the food with the bile. So bile helps you break down the food. So as you can see, things are going through here first. So if we are putting a lot of toxicity into this liver, there's viruses, bacteria, all harbored. It can be pharmaceuticals that have been in there for years. We all, a lot of us take, I don't, but a lot of us take thyroid medication. The synthetic part of the thyroid medication that our body doesn't use can stay in here. So this is why people talk about cleansing, but cleansing is a daily practice. It's something we should do every day. We should be mindful of what we put into our body to give this a rest. Because like I said, it starts to hang on to things. And the more it's hanging on to, the harder it is to get other things like our nutrition, our food, whatever it is, to pass through here and into our digestive system. So if we're just going to focus on here, we are missing, we're jumping over the liver and into here. So that is why you might start to feel a little bit better, but there's still, oh, you know what, I just can't get any better. And you can't out supplement a poor diet. You can't out supplement toxicity. Toxicity is huge, and I talk about it all the time because it's something that not many people focus on. I know of like a few people that focus on what they put into their body in their homes, whether it be, you know, all my makeup is non-toxic natural product. My hair stuff, everything that I do, you know, as much as I can is non-toxic. So I'm trying to release a bit of the burden on the liver because this becomes clogged and overburdened by everything that we put into it. We can't help a lot of the things that go into it. You know, you walk outside, there's car fumes, petroleum. You know, you walk into a doctor's office, for example, and they've got fragrance spraying out. The person sitting next to you has their highly toxic perfume on. All of this has to go into your liver. So your liver goes, what am I going to use? And what am I going to send? What am I going to send to the digestive system to be absorbed by the gut as nutrients? You know, this is a big, big job here. So when we are just focusing on gut health, we are missing this whole key element right here. So if your, you know, if your gallbladder isn't working properly, well, then you're missing another step before you get to the gut, if that makes sense to you. So all these little things here, that's not producing enough bile, that's not going into this area, then this area is going to suffer. So this is why I always, you know, somebody puts a comment about gut health, I always mention it because I don't want you to miss the key element. I don't want you to just jump straight to the gut health and think that this is what is beneficial to you. So let me know if you comprehend what I'm saying, if it makes sense, pop it in the comments, because my focus is liver health, because once the liver, you start to get that functioning properly, then the gallbladder will function properly, and the bile duct, and it'll release the bile, and you've got the pancreatic enzymes that are going to help break down the food. Once you have got that first key step in better working order, it's going to be like a domino effect, and it's going to help the rest of your system, your whole digestive system. So then you're able to absorb nutrients better from your diet. You're able to break down the food a lot better. So this is a really, really important video for you to watch, because if you keep thinking that the gut health is the major element in your healing, you're missing the key element. So that's why I keep hammering it home to you guys, and I hammer home the toxicity. I hammer home about, you know, making your own DIY products. I make all of mine, not all of mine. Let me rephrase that. I make a lot of mine, and they take me no more than 3 or 4 minutes. They cost me a lot less to make, and I feel a lot better. It is really, really important, because when you purchase a lot of natural products, they can be quite expensive. Not all of them. I've gone through and found the best and most economical products over the years. But I also know that if I purchase some ingredients, that I can make a bunch of different things with those ingredients that will help me clean my house, that will help me, you know, wash my dishes, all of these things. I've even gone and made sunscreen before. So I don't do that now. I do buy a really clean sunscreen, but this is why I hammer home the toxicity to you guys, because, you know, I hear a lot of stuff about nutrition. I hear a lot of stuff about supplements, but I don't hear a lot about how you've reduced your toxins, how you've reduced your stress. Stress is highly toxic to your liver, to your hormone balance. If we don't balance those hormones properly, because, you know, the liver is what detoxes our hormones. If that liver isn't working properly, the hormones are recycling back into your body, and that is where you're going to get the weight gain, brain fog, low energy. Your body's working so hard, and your liver is working extremely hard to detox all this stuff out that you keep piling it on. It's like filling you know, like you've got a sponge and it's full of mud, and then you keep on putting dirty water into it. And all you're doing is clogging up that sponge. We want to run clear water through that to wash all the other mud and dirt out of that sponge, so it's not holding on to it. So if we're putting clear water, because the sponge goes, yeah, I want to clear this stuff out. So the clean water is beneficial to it. But if you're putting dirty, muddy, thick water, the sponge starts hanging on to it. And it's like, oh, I can't get it out. It's really hard to remove. So that's what the liver is doing. Like I said, you know, I always use the analogy, if you're only focusing on the gut and you're only focusing on, you know, nutrition or supplementation, it's like filling a bucket with holes in it. You're putting water in it and it's filling up and you're getting somewhere, but you're still, you know, it's still draining out and you're never going to get that bucket really, really full. So this is why I always talk about toxicity. I always talk about the liver. It's because it sits up the top of the gut and it passes things through it. So I hope that makes sense. I tried to explain it as simply as possible so that you understand the importance of liver health. You can look up, if you don't trust my information, you can look up the liver doctor who I have, you know, done a lot with. So I don't just say this out of, you know, pull things out of thin air. There's a lot behind this, and I focused on gut health a lot. Sorry, I'm just having a little. When I first started healing, because that was what I was researching and that was what the naturopaths were telling me, and I was doing okay. But it wasn't until I worked with the liver doctor where it was like, right, now I understand why I'm not really getting anywhere. Sorry. So if you have any questions, if you want to work further on your liver, I'm going to put my booking link in the comments. Let's have a coaching call. Let's work together so I can help you get further. Because if you're stagnant in your healing, you've got to a certain point, you're like, I feel better, but there's still things going on. Let me help you get to where you need to go. Let me help you get from where I've been to where I am now, because that is my main aim in helping people, is to help them feel like I feel better than I did before I got sick, because my body works a lot better and I understand my body a lot more. And education is the key to your healing. Educate yourself as much as you can. Are there any comments? Sorry, it's tickle in the back of my throat. Anyway, I'll answer any questions that you might have in the comments, and I'll put my booking link into the comments so we can work together and get this over with. You want to be better, right? So, and I want you to be better too, because I understand where you are. I understand the frustration, the energy it takes to do all of this. So let's knock it out of the park. And I know that I can help you do that.